An increasingly common sight in Paris, armed French soldiers patrolling the streets of the capital. Since the attacks of January 2015, Operation Sentinelle has seen up to 10,000 soldiers at a time deployed, 7,000 of them in Paris. Their visible presence serving to reassure citizens.
An old lady said to us, "I'm really pleased you're here. I feel safer, not just because of the attacks, but also when it comes to petty crime." I was really touched by that. She spent 5 minutes chatting with us, and we saw that what we're doing, well, it's not for nothing.
Reassuring their presence may seem, but it's almost impossible to safeguard against every attack. Faced with an ever-evolving threat, the armed forces have been forced to modify their tactics too.
That's
why our plans have to be all the more mobile, more unpredictable, more adaptable. That's why we're determined, especially since the attacks of November 13th, to deploy our units across the entire Paris region.
In the past year, Operation Sentinelle has mobilized a total of 70,000 soldiers nationwide at a cost of €270 million. The army aiding the police after the scale of the menace threatened to overwhelm the domestic security forces, who have been pushed to breaking point.
They needed us to protect a lot of sites, a huge number of sites, but without checking whether we had the resources to do it. We soon realized we didn't have the manpower to do it, which is why we needed backup from the army.
With the security forces seriously stretched, the massive deployment of Operation Sentinelle is both costly and far from 100% effective.
It's very media-orientated. These soldiers won't prevent an attack from being committed because they're there to intervene when an attack is underway or is about to happen in front of them. The operation essentially covers a failure of the security forces and intelligence agencies.
The French government has vowed to partially reverse recent cuts to the military budget and recruit over 10,000 new soldiers and police officers. And while the number of volunteers has leaped in the wake of the attacks, the effect won't be felt on the streets until they're fully trained, a process that will take at least 2 years.